Never had they imagined that even in hell, the dead would have to showcase their wealth.
Do you offer?
A wealthy man pulled out several dozen pounds of gold and placed them on the scale. The weight of the gold was heavier than the feather on the other side. The judge of hell was quite pleased and gave the man the option to return to the living world, along with the privilege of nobility. The next to step forward was an elderly woman. She had little wealth, only a ring, a token of her lifelong love with her late husband. The result was clear. The feather outweighed the ring. The judge of hell was disappointed and took away the woman's memories, turning her to dust. When it was the woman's turn, she had nothing, only the anxious hope that her living boyfriend would send her something valuable. At that moment, the boyfriend risked his life to help the god he worshipped find a single eye, restoring his vision. His request was to bring his girlfriend out of hell, but the god Horus betrayed him. He had no treasure to give the man. It had all been a lie, just to restore his own sight. When the man learned the truth, he was completely devastated. The god he had worshipped since birth turned out to be a liar, unable to bear the injustice. The goddess of love, who was loved by the people, summoned Anubis from hell and told him that the man was just an ordinary mortal, without any treasure to exchange for his girlfriend's afterlife. So the goddess of love decided to give up the world's most precious treasure, a bracelet she had carried for thousands of years, to Anubis. Once she did this, she would lose the bracelet's protection and be forever bound by the demons of hell. Horus begged the goddess not to do this. Without the bracelet's protection, she would fall into eternal slumber in the hell of death. But the goddess was resolute and extremely disappointed in Horus's lies. At the moment she removed the bracelet, the demons dragged her down to the 18th layer of hell. Without the goddess of love, Horus in despair handed the bracelet to the man, telling him to save his lover, and he paid the price for the lies he had told. Soon both the man and Anubis arrived in hell. Seeing his girlfriend's weary state, the man was determined to grant her eternal life. But what he didn't know was that even with the goddess's bracelet, his girlfriend would go to another world, and they would never meet again. In the end, the woman chose to give up eternal life. At that moment, hell was struck by a catastrophe. A giant beast was devouring everything in its path. In a desperate attempt, Anubis rushed forward to fend off the beast's attack, but it was clear they couldn't hold it off much longer. Horus, learning of the situation, risked his life to save his dying grandfather. In the final moments, the grandfather defeated the beast, and the world returned to peace. Before leaving to thank Horus, the grandfather promised to grant Horus one wish. Horus didn't ask for the goddess of love to return to his side. Instead, he asked the grandfather to allow the couple to live in the same world, and so the two were finally reunited. Their gods did not fail them in the end.